We definitely want to eat a lot of brown bread, so we'll put that down the bottom as well. Brown bread's better for us because it's high in fibre, helps to keep us full longer, and also helps prevent diseases like colon cancer.
We've got good old gravy beef here. Before serving this up, I'd recommend doing a couple of things. Cutting the fat off, excess fat, okay, and maybe after you've fried it, just tip off the extra fat that's in the pan. Makes it a lot better for our heart.
We've got some mussels over here, bro.
Excellent.
Now, these ones definitely go in the middle. Now, back in the day, our ancestors used to eat these raw. They didn't fry them in cream, bro, and that's the way we should be doing it. Okay? These are good for us in moderation. We just need to be careful with the way that we prepare them.
Now, the good old kiwi mince, a very cheap, economical and tasty meal. Things to make it even more healthier for our bodies. Boil it first and tip off the excess fat, and also don't add any extra salt while you're cooking. So that goes in the middle, Roto.
We've got some work to do. We've got to get you ready.
Kua hoki mai ki te huarahi tika I tā mātou tainga tuarua ki te wharehoko kai. Arā, kai te tika, ngā raurau kai e toru.
These foods here are the ones we should be eating the most of. They're the ones that provide us with nutrients, minerals, vitamins, energy, like carbohydrates. These ones here, we should be eating moderate amounts of them. They give us proteins, which are the building blocks of our bodies. Also, calcium, which help to keep our bones strong. These foods here we should be eating not very often, and they're the ones if we overconsume, they'll make us overweight and can potentially kill us.
In this Roto, we've got two food groups, okay? We've got the fruit and vegetables, of which we should be eating at least 5 servings a day. So that's 2 servings of fruit and 3 of vegetables per day. And this roughly constitutes a serving, okay? About a palm size, or a deck of cards. The other food group in this Roto, we have the cereals, grains and rice, which we should be eating about 6 servings per day. Okay, same again, serving size is about the palm of your hand, all right?
In the middle Roto, we have 2 food groups. The first is meat and meat alternatives. The second is dairy and dairy products. And we should be having at least 1 serving of meat a day. A serving of meat. Is that a serving of meat, bro?
Well, that'll feed about 6 or 7 people by the looks of it.
Very good. A serving of meat is pretty much the same as fruit. It's what fits into the palm of our hands. About 120 grams. A serving of cheese, about 20 grams or 2 slices. A serving of yogurt, 1 pottle. A serving of milk, a glass of milk. Up here we have our top Roto, the smallest Roto. And we have things in here that are high in fat, sugar and salt. One thing we can notice between our second shop and our first shop is there's not really that much food in here. There's a few things for frying and cooking, a few spreads for our bread, and a few treats. This is pretty much the way your eating regime should look.
And so what about things like spreads and tomato sauce and that sort of thing?
When's the last time you went out to your granddad's house and grabbed a bottle of tomato sauce off the tree?
Yeah, no, never.
That's right. It's not a food group.
Okay.
So we've got to check them up
So
here.
I take it there's other things in there that we're trying to restrict, limit in our diet. We don't want to eat all the time those types of kai. Is that correct?
Definitely true. Things like yeast spreads are very high in salt, so we should not be eating too much of these. As with sauces, they can be very high in salt and sugar. So we want to try to limit the amount of these. We're not saying you can't have them, but only have a small amount of them every now and then.
So what's all this hoo-ha about reading food labels, Craig? What's all that about?
Basically, it's mandatory for all food manufacturers to label what's on their food.
Yeah, I see.
So this basically gives us an idea of what we're going to eat. But there's only 3 things we really need to take into consideration. 1 is fat, total fat. 2 is sugars, and 3 is sodium. When reading food labels, look for products that have less than 10 grams of sugar per 100 grams, 10 grams of fat per 100 grams,
And less than 120 milligrams of salt per 100 grams.
To take into consideration, this is only a guideline. Not all foods will fit into this.
Yeah, no, that's true, because if you have a look at cheese, you know, it doesn't fit under the sodium, and it doesn't fit under the total fat, but, you know, yet it's recommended that we can eat that moderately.
Yeah, you're right. Hopefully, we won't be eating 100 grams of cheese in one serving.
Yeah,
We'll only be having
true,
20 grams.
So let's just recap that again. The 3 things we need to look for: sugar, fat, and sodium, or salt.
Yep.
And what were the levels again?
10 grams per 100 grams of fat.
Yep.
10 grams per 100 grams of sugar.
Yep.
And 120 milligrams per 100 grams of salt.
Okay. Okay, so what we've got here is some of the ingredients that we went and bought earlier on today. We're going to make Craig's chili mince. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the mince, we're going to boil it, we're going to add to that after we've drained the fat off. Some vegetables from the fridge, examples broccoli, onions, good old mixed veggies. To fill it out a bit, to make it a bit more delicious, to offer it a bit more spice, we've got the good old chili beans, medium strength, and Italian tomatoes in tomato juice. And we're going to serve this all on pasta. Hopefully it'll take us about 10 minutes. Let's see how we go.
So, Paul, I've been doing a bit of reading, bro, and apparently Māoris are really highly represented in things like cancer, diabetes and heart disease. Was that always the case?
Traditionally, our people were hunters and gatherers. They had to work for their kai. Okay, there was a lot more physical activity in their day, and they burnt off excess energy. Unfortunately, nowadays, the societies that we live in, there's so many machines and labour-saving devices out there.
Can you cut while you're talking?
No, I'm just lecturing you. It's basically a combination of too much energy-dense food and not enough physical activity. We have to be smart. We have to reduce the amount of food we're eating, or exercise more, or a combination of both. The mince is nearly cooked now, but I just want you to come and have a look. Check this out. So as you can see, floating on the top there is a lot of fat, saturated fat, okay? And this fat is particularly harmful because it clogs our arteries, causing heart disease, all right? So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna run the pot through a sieve, sifting out all of that saturated fat, so we're just left with the cooked mince.
That's awesome, bro. Why pay $13 a kilo for the low-fat mince when you can make that yourself?
We've got the spray on cooking oil. Helps us limit the amount of oil we're actually using in our dish. So just spray a light coating across the saucepan there. What we've got here is finely diced onion and garlic.
Also got our onions nice and brown. We chuck in our mince. Add our tomatoes.
You need to eat 3 servings of vegetables and 2 of fruit every day.
You can do this by using tinned and frozen veggies and fruit. This is going to work as our sauce for our chili mince.
Great way of hiding vegetables in the main dish.
What we'll do now is just turn that down a bit and let it simmer for a while.
So while that's all cooking and simmering away nicely, we can add the pasta to the boiling water. That's enough for 2.
After we've let it simmer for about 10 minutes, what we do is we add our extras like our broccoli and our chili bean. The reason we wait to add our vegetables is if we put them in at the beginning, they'll become soggy and not very nice to eat. So this way, they get to keep a bit of their freshness.
Pasta's nearly ready too, bro.
Choice. We'll leave this to simmer for about another 2 or 3 minutes. Then we'll add in our frozen veggies and we'll be ready to go. It doesn't have to be peas, corns and carrot or beans. It can be anything you want, anything you've got in your freezer.
We're just giving the lettuce a quick clean for the salad. Run it under the tap, get all that dirt and pesticide off it. Going to serve up our pasta.
Now, if we have a look at that, see it's around about the size of our fist or what we fit into our hands, okay? That's what a serving size looks like.
So same again, 1 serving size is approximately what fits in comfortably into the palm of your hand. So there we have it, quick and easy, very nutritious meal, and one that comes well in under the budget, so give it a go.
Kia ora anō tātou. Nō reira, ka pēnei taku whakahauia tātou, kia whai nei ēnei tohu. Ka taia e koutou te whiwhi i tō Warrant of Fitness. Kia maumahara tātou ki tēnei kōrero, tama tū, tama ora, tama noho, tama mate.
Okay, so let's see if it tastes as good as it looks.
Righto.
Cheers.
It's all good. Okay, chili mince, it's a winner. What a dick.
Oh, I'm bloody hungry.
It's quite nice.
He mea tau toko nā te māngai.
Pāho.